Here's your secondhand advice from the book, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. What's the first thing you think about in the morning? How much you have to do today? What is left to do from yesterday? For me, by the time I open my eyes, I already feel behind on the endless list of things that I use to define me. After reading The Gifts of Imperfection, I am trying to adopt this new morning mantra from the legendary author and friend in my head, Brene Brown. No matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. What exactly are the gifts that we get from imperfection? They are the 3 C's: courage, compassion, and connection. We use these to cultivate what we need and let go of the things holding us back. This is a practice we use in our daily lives to nurture worthiness. In her research on shame and vulnerability, Brene has gathered thousands of stories from people around the US. From these stories, a powerful pattern emerged. We can lead happier, more fulfilled lives if we learn to embrace our imperfections. She introduces us to a concept she calls wholehearted living, to learn to live out our true desires instead of fulfilling others' expectations. Today, we'll talk about guideposts to living a wholehearted life, why shame is considered the master emotion, but we don't have to be slaves to it, and why you should dedicate time in your life to play. The book discusses 10 guideposts to wholehearted living. It's really a list of things we need to let go of rather than try to implement. Often, letting go is the hard part, though. The 10 things we need to let go of are what others think, perfectionism, numbing our emotions, scarcity, need for certainty, comparison, productivity as a measure of self-worth, anxiety as a lifestyle, self-doubt, and being cool. That is an extensive list and challenging to just remember, so I have created a beautiful graphic of these 10 guideposts designed using Canva that you can download as a reference. You will find the PDF below in the comments as my gift to you. Let's begin with a first guidepost, which is authenticity. Authenticity is a choice we have to make about how we want to live and show up and be real in the world. It's the everyday decision to be honest and not care what others think. Most of us want to be as real as possible. We want to live a life that is true to who we are. However, things like lack of self-confidence and pressure from our peers can stand in the way. We can practice authenticity with courage and compassion. We need the courage to speak our minds and be vulnerable in front of other people. Compassion allows us to relate to the struggles of others. I think the most critical component of this is self-compassion. In an earlier video, I actually summarized the best book out there on this subject. It's called SelfCompassion, and it's by the author Kristin Neff. Self-compassion consists of 3 components: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. To practice self-compassion, we must let go of perfectionism. I am a recovering perfectionist. I used to believe that perfectionism was all about self-improvement and striving to be my best. However, this is not the case. Striving for perfection always leaves you feeling like there is a void because there is simply no such thing as perfection. It's all an illusion. There are many things in my life that I have never even attempted for fear of failure or not being able to do it perfectly. What about you? Have you avoided doing things for fear that you might be judged or won't be liked? How about joining the gym? Do you let others' opinions of you and your body deter you from working out? This has definitely been the case for me in the past. We must stop letting others determine our sense of worthiness. Perfectionism is supposed to work as a shield to protect us against shame. It is the belief that if we look perfect and live and act perfectly, we will be free from judgment and criticism. We will never be free from this, so we may as well spend the rest of our lives being imperfectly ourselves than fall short of others' expectations. We can do this by diminishing shame or the fear of being unlovable. What exactly is shame, and why is it important? Brene defines shame as the intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. Perfectionism hides our fear of shame. There are 3 key things you need to know about shame. First is that we all have it, and it is a universal emotion. Everyone is afraid to talk about it, but the less we talk about it, the more control it has over our lives. Shame can grow out of control with secrecy, silence, and judgment. The antidote to shame is to talk about it so it loses its power. The next guidepost refers to overcoming numbness and powerlessness with resiliency. How many of us have tried to lose weight but give up at the first sign of a struggle? If we cultivate resiliency by practicing hope, it can help us achieve our goals. Hope comes when we think about where we want to go and recognizing how we can get there. Imagine yourself achieving your weight loss goal and really feel what it would be like to be healthy, fit, and have more energy. Similar to hope, gratitude is not an accidental emotion. This is also a mindset that can be trained. People who practice appreciation for even the most ordinary moments in life are much happier. We can actively choose joy. It is not a result of external conditions. Keep a gratitude journal. Begin each day by knowing that what you already have is enough. Understand that you could always have less, and nothing is guaranteed in life. Anything can be taken from you at any moment. In this COVID climate, I literally appreciate every day that I am healthy and safe, and my loved ones are too. Without a doubt, we need to have faith that we will be safe. Faith requires trust. Do you trust your intuition? This is one of our most incredible decision-making resources. Intuition is indispensable in letting go of the need for certainty. Most people avoid risk and uncertainty. By following your intuition, you can overcome this fear of danger. One of the best ways we can cultivate authenticity is to express ourselves creatively. This helps us do away with our tendency for comparison. It's completely natural to compare ourselves to others, but this comparison is the root of conformity and competition. These two things are not mutually exclusive. Comparison has the dual meaning of first fitting in and then standing out. For example, we don't compare our homes to the mansions across town, but we will compete with our neighbors for the block's best kept yard. This is how we end up conforming. We compete only with those who are already similar to us. Creativity is the nemesis of comparison. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not creative. Even though I don't know you personally, I know that this is not true. Everyone is creative. Everyone. There is no such thing as a creative or non-creative person. Only those who make use of their creativity and those who don't. If you're not sure how to be creative, might I suggest the power of play? Many people think of play as a waste of time and something for children, but it can encourage our creativity. It can spark excitement and can be a great learning tool. But make sure your plan is only to have fun. Play should serve no specific purpose. We think of work and play as opposites because we have a terrible habit of tying self-worth to productivity. We believe that if we get rid of play, that we will have more time for work. However, the opposite of play is not work, it's depression. Furthermore, be sure and get some rest. There are no awards in life for being the most exhausted person. Take a look at your to-do list, cross off one item, and replace it with take a nap. Naps can also help with anxiety. The nervousness and restlessness that come with anxiety can be practically paralyzing. We need to learn to manage our stress rather than trying to get rid of it. Try approaching anxiety with a broader perspective. Anxiety is just fear about the future, and none of us know what the future holds. So if we are spending time worrying about the future and it never comes to pass, we suffer needlessly. If our worry does come to pass, we suffer twice, once while worrying and again when it happens. We often feel anxious about what we are supposed to be doing. I hate this term. That and the word should. Replace this with the word could. When we use the word should, it is as if we don't have a choice in the matter. By replacing this one word with could instead, we take ownership of our options. This changes our internal conversation and is much more empowering. Instead of feeling that we should get real work done, identify your own gifts and talents that you can share with the world. We all have unique strengths and abilities that belong to us alone and are not always necessarily paying the bills. Just because your passion isn't what you get paid for doesn't mean that it's any less a part of your identity. One of my favorite quotes is from Howard Thurman. He famously said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." To do this in this age of social media, we have to be okay with being uncool. It's this desire to appear cool that keeps us isolated from others. Humans need connection. Some of the best ways we can connect are through laughter, song, and dance. All three activities create an emotional and spiritual connection with those around us and allow us to feel we're not alone. Laughter, song, and dance all require a full body vulnerability where we need to let go in some way and risk feeling silly. Let's review. Living a wholehearted life takes practice, not miracles. Cultivating courage so that you can approach others and yourself from a place of compassion allows for greater connection. Make time for play, dance, laughter, song, and acting like a fool. What guideposts do you follow in your life? Comment below with your favorites and share your best advice. Please be sure to like and subscribe as well. And thank you so much for watching. Time for some white girl moves. That's right, folks. I'm available for weddings and bar mitzvahs.